Welcome back to Ace Attorney Anime Review. This is episode number. I believe this is episode 11. Yep, 11. This I'm viewing the 33rd episode of the series, which is called Recipe for the It is something though, this was a quick little three-parter. And the trial that comes right after this one is all three-parter as well. This one pretty much wraps up this whole entire very weird arc. Yeah, the thing starts off basically, it's just a trial. We have at least two witnesses, as far as I can tell. First, of course, is the chef, who is very gayish, I'd say, because he's got makeup and lipstick on for some reason, and he speaks with a French accent. Yeah, he talks about some kind of store. Apparently, it's also viewed in this episode that apparently the murder that the old man witnessed was not the actual murder. It was a reenactment of the actual murder. I have no idea exactly. Now, they don't explain exactly why they did this for. Yeah, it's a particularly very odd thing, and the whole thing of them setting up the whole thing of him being murdered, and of course Maggie being unconscious on the floor. As far as I can tell of why he decided to reenact it, that of course was never explained. They do explain why the killer decided to actually. The killer is revealed to be somebody who was quite predictable to be the murderer anyways. It was Don Tiger. Yeah, this big bulky guy, which I think is voiced by Patrick Stultz. He's very loud. And he's kind of like the gangster version of Phoenix, right? Where he tends to talk and stuff just blows over the place. Yep. And the way Phoenix gets a confession out of him, he bluffs. Yes, he bluffs him. And he admits not only to committing the murder, but he also admits to impersonating Ace. Yeah, and the reason why now that was revealed of why he did it. The reason why he impersonated him was so he can get off the hook for a murder charge. That was the reason why. Of why he chose Phoenix Wright to pose as him. Was never revealed exactly why he chose Phoenix to impersonate. I get they didn't reveal why he impersonated him, but why did he specifically choose him? Because he's famous? Is that it? That, of course, was never revealed of why he decided to do it. Okay, and the reason why he decided to kill the victim was because of a CD. Yes, a CD. He had apparently owed a boatload of money to this big-time loan shark mobster. He owed him $1 million for an accident that he caused with his pink moped. That is right, pink moped. Also, speaking of rides, where the heck is Phoenix's bicycle? Yeah, that particular thing has been absent this whole season. I don't know where the heck the thing is. As far as I can tell, he never got rid of it. Not that I can think of, no. Yeah, and of course, Gumshoe being his usual self, and freeze, it's the cops. I'm like, why in the world would he keep saying that? Like, I get the reason he would say that if he's going to arrest somebody, but why the heck would he say it in the middle of a courtroom? It makes no sense for him to do that at all. Yeah, and of course, it's very much hinted that he has a thing for Maggie, and of course he kind of reveals his feelings for her via, well, Phoenix and Maya kind of telling Maggie about how much Gumshoe cares about her. Of course he's had a thing for her since the last time she appeared. Yeah. And apparently she doesn't like tasting his food because she thinks that he's a bad cook. I have no idea. But this is Japan. A lunchbox are put in like these little square boxes and tied it with a little ribbon. Of course, this is the Japanese style of doing lunchboxes. I have nothing against it. This is simply how they do things. Here, if you have a lunchbox, it's something you zip up or you snap closed. Yes, I have a lunchbox myself I take to work with me. Though when people take lunchboxes, they feel what do they put in it? Usually like a sandwich, a drink, and a few other things. My lunch is consisted of a Slim Fast shake, a bag of almonds, and a a bar, a protein bar. Of course, thing as an ice packet. That's my lunch. That's lunch I take to work every day when I go to work. Yes, in the case of Japan, they don't apparently believe in taking drinks with them with their lunches for some reason. Either that or they drink separately. I don't know why did they do this for. It's particularly very odd. But that's just from my perspective. I'm sure in Japan this is just normal for them to do this. I'm sure if they see how we take our lunches over here, they probably think that we have our lunches prepared very strangely. Yes, their lunches are basically consisted of like rice and a few other things. Yes, because rice is part of their diet. It's the same thing in China, from what I can tell from some videos I've seen. Yeah, rice is a heavy part of their diet, and I like eating rice. I really do, but not where it's a constant thing, and it's not like, let's say, part of part of my diet, anyways. As a matter of fact, I don't eat rice very much. No, I like eating it, but I don't eat as much as, let's say, people in Japan eat rice. Probably because that's a lot of the time that's probably one of the few things they can eat aside from their own food. Though the most popular food over there is sushi. But I know that's not the only food they eat, along with, well, I think they also eat curry as well. I think so. I've never had curry. Yeah. But in the case of this episode, it was really good. Gumshoe, from what I can tell, looks like he's an American cop who operates in, I think this is supposed to be Japan, like Tokyo. That could explain the mopeds, because you probably don't see mopeds very much in LA. Because from what I've heard from when Ace Attorney crossed up with a game of Netflix franchise called Professor Langton, I have heard there's an anime face-to-face of Professor Langton. I've never seen it. Yeah, there is a crossover, and apparently, instead of going back to Tokyo, they go to LA for some reason. I don't know why, they just do. But in the case of this episode overall, it's good, and despite the fact they're just, like I said, things just never explained why they do things like this. Also, the old man himself, despite being referenced and seen in a flashback, he does not make a physical appearance in the episode. The chef is probably by far the only person who's not part of the recurring characters. Yeah, the chef and Don Tiger are the only two not part of the main characters who appears in all 3 episodes. Yes. Though at least this episode, he does appear for like one. He only appears on screen for a good 5 minutes. Excuse me. Most of the episode is taken up by Don Tiger. Yeah, there's one thing I gotta mention. This has been kind of irking me a bit. Is it standard procedure in Japan, even though that a person is not really guilty, they have to stay in a jail cell during this period of time? I mean, here, if someone's not guilty, they give like a plea of not guilty, and they're released here on bail, either on their own reconnaissance or they have to pay a fine. Like usually, from what I've seen from American dramas, usually it ranges from 1,000 to about, I think the highest I've heard is about $2 million. I've heard for bond. Depends upon certain people how they pay for it. Yeah. But apparently in Japan, the only way, and apparently they have like a meeting room for defense attorneys, the defense attorney and their clients. As far as I can tell, I don't think this is from what I can tell, this particular type of sitting room, this is not, as far as I can tell, I don't think from what I've seen from legal dramas, they usually have rooms like this, but they're not regular sitting rooms with couches. They're basically like rooms with tables, so they can have a decent conversation with a client. But that's probably standard procedure for Japan of how they do the courts. I don't know, because I personally have never been to Japan. It's a place I want to visit, but I personally don't want to see their courthouses. Okay? Alright. So, that's particularly it for this particular review. As far as I can tell, I have no other videos planned for today. As for tomorrow, I have currently no videos planned, though I might do a comic corner tomorrow. Friday definitely is going to be a review of JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Yep. Now, in the case of Overlord, it's taking me a little while to get through these light novels for Overlord. I'm only on book one. I'm almost on book one. And the first season for the show is adapted from the first three light novels. I don't know how long it'll take me to get through books 2 and 3. Book 1 I should probably finish it pretty soon. But I can probably start the season up at this rate maybe next week. Sometime next week, I'm not sure when. But I don't think it'll take me too long to get through these 3 seasons. Because it's only 39 episodes and each season is only 13 episodes apiece. So it won't take me too long. Okay? But until I see you next review, bye.